How to stay positive in the face of anything. Yes, anything. You've heard it forever, right? Just think positive. But what does that even really mean? I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm a professional positivity psychologist, and I can show you exactly what positivity is from a psychological standpoint and how you can apply it in your life. Before we get into the model of what positivity actually is, I want to call something to your attention. It's a concept that we call metacognition. Now, metacognition is a fancy psychological term. Don't worry if you haven't heard it before. We make up words in psychology. It makes us feel smart. And this is one of them. When you break it down, cognition simply means thinking. Metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. And I want you to notice right now that you can do this. My job is to illuminate the obvious, which is so cool because I get paid to tell people things they already know. But there's obvious things that are unnoticed, and this is one of those. As I call it to your attention, notice that you can think about your own thinking. This is important. Keep this turned on for a minute because metacognition creates a space. And in that space is where choice exists. Until you see it as a choice, it's not. So to repeat that, metacognition creates a space. In that space is where choice exists. You're going to see that you have some choice in what direction your brain goes. Let's start with this. It is what it is. I've put what it is on this bidirectional arrow as we build out the model. This can be kind of annoying. You've heard the phrase, right? It is what it is. And it depends on who's saying it and why, but it can be kind of annoying. Usually when people say this, they just mean, well, there's nothing we can do about it. But for today's conversation, just think about what it is as where you are, what you have, who you're with, the way things are right now without changing anything. It is what it is. So to illustrate this, come back with me a couple of months. I'm sitting there minding my own business and I get a call. It's from my oldest son. Dad, I have cancer. Wait, what? I have cancer. It is what it is. Meaning, this is what we've got now. Now, what is our brain doing with what it is? Yours just did it, just like mine did it when I got that call. I have cancer. Okay, it is what it is. What is my brain doing? It's evaluating. Evaluation means judgment. So notice this. It is what it is. What's my brain doing? Judging it, evaluating it. So my brain asks, oh, is this good or bad? I don't know. I'll check. Now my brain gets busy checking. The word evaluation implies comparison with some standard, right? So to know if it's good, I need to have something to compare it to, or to know if it's bad, I need to have something to compare it to. My son has cancer. Can you imagine anything better than that? Oh, you can. Like what? Like my son doesn't have cancer? Yeah, I could come up with that too. Now when we take what it is, my son has cancer, and we compare it in evaluation mode to something better like my son doesn't have cancer, then how do we feel about my son has cancer? This sucks. And you're always right about how you feel. See, that red arrow indicates the direction of comparison and the feeling associated. When we compare what it is to something better, we feel worse. Pretty simple. Okay, now you're probably getting ahead of me because it could always be better, but it could always be worse, right? Let me tell you something that I didn't tell you earlier. My son's cancer at this point has not metastasized. It hasn't spread to other areas in his body or in his organs. Oh, did you feel that? Did you feel just a little bit of relief when I said that? We have an aggressive treatment plan that we are diligently applying. Okay, now, I also noticed my own brain doing this because I'm a black belt in positivity. Okay, I've been doing this forever. And when I got that call, I thought, Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't just get a call from his wife saying that he had been killed in a head-on collision, which is also a possibility, right? Now, what's our brain doing? What it is could always be better. It could also always be worse. Now, when you imagine something worse, let's take what it is. My son has cancer. Compare it to something worse, like he was just killed in an accident. Then how do you feel about the cancer? Did you feel it like I did? There's relief. When we compare what it is to something worse, we feel better. Here's the whole evaluation process in a nutshell. It is what it is. We have to evaluate it. We can't turn this off. We're constantly judging. Notice that. And judgment or evaluation implies comparison with a standard. It could always be better. It could always be worse. When we compare what it is to something better, we feel worse about what it is. When we compare what it is to something worse, we feel better. Notice I'm not saying that what it is awesome. I'm saying what it is neutral. And in saying that it's neutral, I'm not saying that it's painless or easy, because sometimes what it is very painful and difficult. But it could always be better and it could always be worse. Notice that. Let me give you a little quick brain hack before we move on to the next process. I call it the gratitude power up. Just try this. For the next 5 days, make a list of 25 things each day that you're sincerely grateful for. And you can look anywhere in your life, okay? Your relationships, your health, your home, your circumstances, your country that you live in. Whatever it is that you're grateful for, put it on the list. But let's power it up. At least half of your list every day. That's 13 if you're doing the math. Has to be about the cancer, the hard thing, the painful, difficult thing that's kicking your trash a little bit. And I'm not saying you have to be grateful for the cancer. I'm using that because that's my current story. I'm not saying you have to be grateful for that. I'm saying open it up. Look inside of that thing and see if you can find something in there that you are grateful for. Put that on your list. I have spent more time with my oldest son in the last couple of months than I have in the last 10 years. Am I grateful for that? Yes. Am I grateful for the cancer? Well, that's harder, but that's where I found it. So look inside. Ask your brain to find it for you. And watch out for this, because sometimes when you do this, your brain will say, well, what is there to be grateful for in this? And it's not even a question. It's a statement disguised as a question. It's really more of a complaint or a declaration. Turn it back into a question. What is there to be grateful for in this? Try it for 5 days. Let's see what your amazing mind can come up with. Now, before I share the next process with you, do you want a copy of this model? I will send you a free full-color PDF of the model that we're talking about. Just go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/themodel, and I'll put this right in your inbox. All right, now this is important because we're not done yet. Our brain has another mode that it goes into, and you can't stop this one any more than you can stop evaluation. It's going to happen. It's called creation. And I'm talking about creation of what is to be. That doesn't exist yet. We haven't created it yet. So in creation mode, we have to imagine what is to be. And our amazing imagination is going to work for us or against us, kind of like it does in evaluation mode. But let's look at how this works in creation. Remember, we're starting from what it is. It is what it is. What's it going to be? You don't know. You don't know. How are you doing next week? You don't know. Now, you've got predictions because you can imagine or anticipate or expect certain things, but that's all in your imagination. So I invite you for the next moment to focus on the feelings. When we imagine or predict or expect that what's coming is even worse than what we've already got, how do we feel? This, my friends, is anxiety. That red arrow, when we predict or expect that what's coming is even worse than what we've got, we feel anxiety, fear, apprehension, nervous. Are you connecting with this? Notice it. And you're never wrong about how you feel. You're always right. How you feel is 100% consistent with the way your brain is doing these two processes. Alternately, what happens? What are the feelings? Focus on the feelings when we imagine or anticipate or expect that what's coming is even better than what we've already got. How do we feel? That green arrow, as we anticipate better things to come, represents hope, anticipation, excitement. Here's the whole creation model. It is what it is, and what it is to be doesn't exist yet. So all we can do is imagine it. Notice that you have a prediction. When we predict better things to come, we feel hope. When we predict worse things to come, we feel anxiety. That's 30 years of clinical experience in a nutshell. Here's your brain hack for creation mode. Notice that 8 o'clock is coming. Check your watch. Sure enough, 8 o'clock is coming, right? And there's only 2 options. I used to think there were 3. I got rid of the third one because I don't think things could be exactly the same at 8 o'clock as they are right now. At the very least, you're going to be a little older. You might be more hungry, more tired. I don't know. It depends on what you did just before 8. So here's the brain hack. I call it BB8. That stands for Better by 8. Ask your amazing mind and your imagination and your creative power to give you some way that you can make your life better by 8. Now, I'm not talking next week, next month, next year. I'm talking 8 o'clock. Wrap your head around that for a minute. What could you do to make things a little or a lot better by 8? And notice what your brain is doing, because it's in that imagination that creation starts. If you will do this for the same 5 days that you're doing the gratitude power up, you get to have 10 upgrades. Your life, how does that feel? And you pick whatever aspect you want to work on. It might be your health, your finances, your business, your relationships. It's up to you. Better by 8. Are you in? Now here's the whole model. Remember, I've got a free full color copy of this model for you with a little description of the elements of it. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/the model. Can you use this? Did you learn something important about your brain today? You've got this, and we've got you. So keep coming back. We've got more for you in our next video.